Welcome to the High-Tech Investments News Report for Week 46. The news report covers some of the many investments projects High-Tech Investments is currently involved in so you can follow our progress. We hope you will enjoy this news feed and look forward to your comments and remarks.
Hi, Bo here, and welcome back to this week's news report that has a new video on Yieldnodes, the latest and greatest. And on top of that, Trillant has a couple of exchanges and deadlines now that we also know about. We're going to go through that today. And we have a new all-time high for the Profit Retriever robot. It was a very good week last week, and we're going to have a look at all of it. But let's get started. And then as a reminder, because we can see a lot of people continue to ask the same questions, the quarterly profit that you will now get from Yieldnodes most probably will start on the 1st of January. So we hope that is clear. Don't expect anything else before then. Now we made a new video also this week, and this in specific goes into detail a bit on what actually happened, the next steps that the Yieldnodes is taking currently, and then on top of that the new introduction of the marketplace claims, which used to be the old emergency withdrawal, where we reveal exactly how you can buy and sell anything up from or down to 10% up to 150%. So if you haven't seen it yet, this is the video to watch. We'll make sure that we also leave a link in the description of the video as always. Now what we're talking about here, the 10 to 150%, is actually the minimum claim percentage that Yieldnodes has set, and it goes in increments of 2 weeks at a time, meaning basically that when it was launched here on the 14th of November, for the next 2 weeks, the minimum you can set is 10%, meaning if you have 10,000 and you want to sell it off at 10%, means that you are selling it for only $1,000. So obviously not the best way to get started, but if you need the money, that is one way to get it out, and obviously somebody will most probably pick this one up. It's a very good deal if they believe in Yieldnodes and what is to come. Every 2 weeks it will then change in increments of 10%, and that means that all of this should be up to 75% by 5th of March, as you can see here. So this is something to take into account. So if you want to sell, you can go as low as 10% at the moment, and then it will go up again every 2 weeks, 20, 30, 40%, and so on and so on. If we have a look at the SAPP and Sapphire coins and how they have done in the week, it's not the best picture that has been drawn here. It was a bit better than what we see right now, but let's have a look at it. So the return on the investment for the SAPP or Sapphire coin for the iHost MN platform here is pretty much the same. So 57.2% last week. It is up a bit, just by 0.26, so not much to write home about on this one here. The shared masternoding has done the same as previous weeks, about 2% per week at the moment. And overall coin development took a bit of a tumble. Just before we released this video here, we were looking slightly better, so still in the 50-55% mark. Now we're down to minus 65%, so obviously not very good development. We'll have to see if this is going to be corrected by next week. The graph looks like this, and there's a bit of a retracement so from last week that we saw, and now we see another dip again here on the SAPP coin. PNY, similar here, also return on the investment per year is pretty stable at the moment. Last week it was 63%, now we're up to 64%, so roughly 1% change, so it doesn't really do much. The shared masternoding, we have managed to get 10% for the week, so which is again quite normal for PNY. Overall coin development continues to be fairly stable, so it doesn't really move much at the moment. And we are looking at minus 95.43%, so still for the overall coin development. And obviously that's not going to change anytime soon, unfortunately. The graph looks like this, and it's gone pretty flat at the moment, so not much to report so far. Birake, also here we can see return on the investment for the particular year is pretty much the same, 115% last week, and this week it's up to 116. less than 1% difference. The shared masternoding, they have done about 4% in the last week, and that also quite normal of what we've seen for the last many weeks and months. Overall coin development also here, it looked pretty positive, and then we took another dip down. So we are down by 5% since last week and currently at minus 7.70%. So not good here either for any of the Decenomy coins at the moment. Graphs looks like this. It has done a bit of a recovery after the last couple of weeks, and since then just slight dip. If we have a look at the Bitcoin versus USDT, then we will also see that we had a huge drop last week. So it came from about almost 18,000 down to a new low of 15,600. Since then it shot up again quite quickly up to the 18,000s. And then it has now settled at a new 16,500, and it's currently running in that section. And we'll have to see if this is going to put further pressure on the Bitcoin in the weeks to come here, or if we can get it back up to the 18,000 mark that it has been floating about for the last many months before. Elevate Pass, no profits again for week 46. We see in the Telegram apps that people keep asking for this, and we keep telling everybody in here that we don't believe that there's going to be any profits for these particular trades. The trades has basically stopped from what we understand. So again, due to the issue with the CFO, but you still have the option here and go and sell the crypto courses. You still have the options to go in on CoinFriend portal and also use some of the money you have invested in Elevate Pass. You can use that for advertising and hopefully get some of this back until the trading is fully up and running again. If we take a look at Trillant, then we had some good news again over the weekend. And that meant here on the 15th of November that the CEO came out and basically released the dates for the 2 exchanges that's going to handle our Trill. And that was the major part of it. And we're going to go through a few of the steps here to make sure that you know exactly the deadline and timeline for all these things. So the statement was that starting today or tomorrow, this was on Sunday, the value token will be listed on both the XT and the CoinStore exchanges. From this point on, it can be bought and sold from there. The transfer from the Trillant dashboards to the exchanges is not just possible and will be realized step by step to keep the token stable. This is structured as follows, and we just have to tell you that we went in just before we did this video. We still can't see that they are listed in either of the exchanges, but I guess we will see in the next couple of days. Now the different timelines that you have in here, you have the first one where you can now send the tokens on the 28th of November until the end of the year. You will be able to withdraw $2,500 in tokens that can be transferred to the exchanges. When it comes to the 1st of January until end of February, you will be able to take out 5,000. And then from 1st of February until the end of February, it will be up to 10,000. And from there on, the 1st of March, the amount will be unlimited. So it is a gradual opening up of this to make sure that the coin will be stable and don't have any huge drops, I guess. Now the important part here is that the limit in each month for the total amount of the token transferred means again here that on the first or the end of 2022 here, you will only be able to take 2,500 out. But this will be to all exchanges, so both. One can send 1,250 to XT and the same to CoinStore. You will still keep within the band of the 2,500. The Trill stablecoin is expected to be listed only on 1st of March. Before it will only be the Trill. Yeah, and obviously that is a bit of a down. We thought that this was going to be released at the same time, but obviously not. It would have been nice at least to know. If we go back and have a look again and see what Trillant is all about, then we have the staking, and you have the short term, which is the 4, 9, and 26 weeks, and then you have the long term for 52 weeks, and you can see the yields here. And then obviously now that they're going to end up on the exchange, it also means that Now the coin price will no longer be the 10 cents. It will take the market value, whatever that's going to be in the future. So, but I went in again on the platform here this morning, and it looked like it was still set at 10 cents. So you have maybe one last chance to get in at the 10 cents before hopefully the price will go up. And we also made a video on this, so if you haven't seen it, or if you are interested in Trillant and the Trillant marketplace, so which is going to be linked together with the Trill coins here, then this is the video for you. We will make sure that that is also in the description below. Now on to the Solar Play token. So this is Solar Farm we're talking about, and last week we mentioned that the Solar Play token pre-sale was already on. Unfortunately that was not true. It was changed several times, and at the end of the day somebody made an executive decision, and that was just launched this particular week, and it has also already ended. Now we took a picture of this about 4 hours before it ended, but we saw that there wasn't much change at the end of the day. The hard cap for the Solar Play token here was 200 BNB to start off with. Only 65 BNB was sold, and we believe that that is a bit down to how the Solar Farm 1 and 2 was handled here in the last many months. Now just to again remind you exactly what you can do with these Solar Play tokens. You have the Solar Predictions, you have the Solar Sport, and you have the Solar Frenzy games that are in there. And with the Solar Play tokens, you can then go in and play these games. Also, Solar Farm has gotten a bit of an upgrade. So on the platform, it still basically projects the same information as you had for. It just looks a bit more spick and span here now. But overall, same design, everything is still the same. If we have a look at the data itself and how well we have done on the platform, we can see that the TVL is down by 0.1, which is about 1%. So that is not too bad at all. It means that we are almost bottom out here at 10 BNB. Panels owned is up by 71%. But what is really interesting here is our panel value in the last week and also the week before here. This week it's even higher. So last week was 13%. This week we have 16. So that is really great news. Exchange rate is down. It's only 47%. So that's also good news from there. Quick look at the BNB versus USD. And we can also see here that it follows pretty much the same pattern as we saw with Bitcoin. We left it around the 300 mark. So last week it dropped down to 260 together with the Bitcoin. Then shortly after, sharp rise up against 300 again. And now it's walking around about the $270 mark. But it has a slow trend downward still. Solar Farm 1 has also gotten the facelift, so for the platform itself, and it looks like this. Again, all the data, all the information is still the same, nothing has really changed. Solar Farm 1 seems to be having an issue at the moment, so it's not really going up, it's not really going down. It used to be the more positive one of the two. If we have a look at the TVL, we are basically status quo from last week. We are down by less than 1%, so that is not too bad. Panels owned up by 164%, and then panel value and daily rewards is slightly up by 1%. It was a bit higher earlier in the week, so up a couple of percent, but we ended up at 1% just before we shot this video again here. Now what is not up is AI marketing. First 17 days of November profit, still we don't know. We have no access to the website itself, as we mentioned before in the last couple of weeks. And all we have to do is a few rumors saying here again that the domain has been renewed, and we also raised this last week. It doesn't necessarily mean that everything is coming back right now, but obviously fingers crossed. We hope we're going to see something before Christmas. Again, the meeting that was supposed to take place on the 15th of November, we just got another automated reply saying the next meeting will now be 29th of November. So clearly they don't want to come out until things are either up and running or they are completely gone. What is not gone is the profit retriever and the results itself. Last week we did quite well, and this week we seem to be in a bit of a drawdown, and that normally happens every now and so often, every 2 or 3 months with the profit retriever. That's something we simply just have to live with. We have a new couple of indexes that we're testing out at the moment, and maybe next month we will try and release some of them. If we have a look at the overall portfolio that we are trading with the 18 robots at the moment, you can see that we have now hit more than 120,000, and we did a video not too long ago when it was at 100. Since then it's gone really fast, and last week we have basically come in with, this is all our 18 robots, not just the top 5. They managed last week 18,173 and 50 cents. So this was definitely a new all-time high, and not expected, because we have turned down the lot sizes for a lot of them to make sure that the drawdowns will be less. And then again, we will see that the profit goes up and it goes into drawdown. So obviously it is difficult to control these robots, but continuous testing is the way forward. Now the top 5 EAs for week 45, British pounds USD did extremely well at 14%. The New Zealand USD at 11.8, Aussie USD, so you can see the pattern here with all the American dollars, 11.4%. And then we have the US 30 index also at 10.9, and then the US Swiss francs 9.2. So all in all, it pretty much US week here, where everything was up against the dollar. And in total, that means that the top 5 made $5,720, or 11.4% if you only have traded those 5. Definitely a very good week, and we'll have to see how next week it's going to be. It looks pretty weak right now, but we have seen especially Fridays close with very good profits. Again, we get a lot of questions about how you can get started with your robots, and we continue obviously to tell everybody, go to our website, and if you are interested in trading the profit retriever for yourself, then it is the profit retriever trading. You have to click on here and it will give you all the details, including VPS, brokers that we use, things like this, to get you started. If you don't want to spend all this time and you simply just want to try and make a buck and find a couple of good traders through Expert Forex, then you click on the copy link trading part and you go in and find your signals there. So very easy, and hopefully that will be it. Now Expert Forex also has a few videos out this week, where on this particular video Alex has a free robot, so that can be used, and he also tells us a bit about it, how it's going to be traded. The other one is basically a new review or a different view of the top links on the accounts with the success rate, where he goes in and compares the different top links. So both on a weekly basis and since they joined the Expert Forex copy link forum. So there is good information in there if you are interested in copy other traders. And that's what we had for you in this week's news report. As you can see, things are brightening up. We do have some positive green numbers, not all around, but obviously that's why you always have to trade in a portfolio to make sure that at least some of the things are up, and don't put all your eggs in one basket. So I hope it gave you a bit of a good information to know what is coming, and obviously also which platforms you might want to have a closer look at. I hope to see you next week again, where we will have more, hopefully, very positive news. Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed our news report. So please don't forget to like and add your comment below, as we would love to get your feedback. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to keep the notification bell turned on. That way, you will never miss any of our future videos. We hope to see you back on this channel very soon.